سوينا إيواء خيام، وأنا عبد لله يعني بلشت فيه للمخيم، والشباب بقى صاروا يجتمعوا معي.
I think home means a place to belong, a place to be together, a place to socialize, a place where you feel safe.
صار بقى عواصف كتير وكذا، والخيام ما تحملت، ساونا هذا المخيم هو قرفانات.
Today in the world we are more than 100 million people that have no place to go. The challenge is that many of these don't stay for a week or a month. It's actually a stay that's much longer. I mean, the average duration of a refugee today is more than well above 20 years. And then as a designer coming, from a product design background, I could see there was a tremendous opportunity here, without knowing the details about the field, to make something better.
من الخيمة لهون الحمد لله جينا ولقينا القرفانات أصلح بكتير من هنيك، والحمد لله إنه مأوى يعني مثل البيت.
And fast forward many years, we have a very well-developed, innovative way to house people for years and years. And it provides a very different kind of living than the living that they would have in a tent.
يعني قعدنا مثلا كذا شهر بالخيام، تلبكنا كثير والله. الحمد لله هون انتقلنا على القرفانة، كان شغلة يعني مثل ما كنا انتقل الواحد من بيت عربي هيك مهرهر انتقل لطابق بناية، يعني 10 نجوم، بينما هنيك كان يعني نجمتين.
Right now UNHCR has 70,000 of these shelters deployed around the world, and that means hundreds of thousands of people are using them. And these shelters have been providing a step change in terms of safety for many of the families, but also dignity, which is really the number one element we look to when we're trying to protect people and help them gain the confidence that after being displaced.
هون نحن قاسمينها نصين، نص للنوم ونص للأكل والشرب كذا، وحسنت فيها الوضع. هون سويت مطبخ وحمام جوا والحمد لله رب العالمين. والقرفانة يعني شبه البيت تمام. هلا هون عاملين مثل غرفة نوم هون نحن شحوا هون.
So these basic elements, which may seem to you and I as something that is part of our everyday life, is what's unique about the shelter and what's really been a real change for the context in which we work.
The problem is that these innovations don't tend to happen in the humanitarian space, because on the business side, on the private sector side, there's no interest in really driving innovation and putting in the kind of money that's necessary to come up with something like better shelter and the unit that we have today. At the same time, the humanitarian organizations that are requested to provide shelter for people who are forcibly displaced, they don't have the money or the resources or the expertise to drive these innovations.
It certainly wasn't as straightforward as I thought when we met the first time. Have to care about how we're going to ship the stuff here, how we're going to get it up, how we're going to build it.
It's a product that needs to be comfortable for the people who live there, but it also needs to be able to endure the tough conditions for as long as possible, so it's durable, so it can last for a long time.
What we have learned that to make it successful, it's really about connecting with the people and getting people to pull together and doing this in partnership.
That's where we had help from not only UNHCR, that will of course be able to provide the specifications for what it can be and what it can't be, but then on the other hand, the refugees themselves. We ask them what would be working for you and how can we make this better for you. And that has turned it into a better product because we got so much insights from the people who actually tried it out and told us what worked and what doesn't work.
So there is so much for us to do, but we are constantly learning. We're constantly getting feedback and making it better. Even though it's incremental changes, most we're doing right now, it is a different product today, what we have than what we had a few years ago.
We started out trying to replace a tent,
yeah,
a family tent with a better structure. Now we have developed something that has so many application possibilities. It's amazing to see how people have been creative in how they use this modularized unit and create other type of superstructures, as you call them.
It's being changed and updated in ways we could not have had imagined. And we had hospitals, and schools, daycare centers. And I think this is a good example of you design something for one application and the people. They learn it, as you said, they adapt to it, they take in the benefits, but then they bring it to usages that we did not envision. And now, of course, we're supporting this full-heartedly, and we're very glad. But this was really something that was driven by the people themselves.
Well, it's a pretty grim status. The numbers keep rising, and these are people who have been forced to flee war, persecution, violence. And the world continues to see conflict, and that drives people to be displaced. And while they're displaced, then we're responsible for taking care of them.
والله هي بتعني لي كبيت. يعني بيت جيد جدا بالنسبة لنا على وضعنا انه كنا بالطريق نحن. هون غرفة نوم وهون مطبخ وهون الحمد لله يعني بأحسن حال على حسب الوضع تبعنا جيد جدا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
We need everyone who is committed to finding a solution for these people. I think innovation is absolutely critical to the work we do. So any solutions we can come to when it comes to solarization or trucking water or developing new mechanisms or bringing technology in, these will all be critical as we look ahead to helping refugees and displaced people stay as close to home so that they can go back.
There is a huge risk in not doing innovation, and the funding versus the needs are being cut, is being reduced. So we have to do innovation.
The challenge in the future will be to find people and organizations to pay for it. And if we are going to help more people, then we need more organizations, more governments, more private sector, more philanthropic organizations to pay for these shelters, because if there's one thing we know for sure, there will be more people displaced in the future, unfortunately.